Hey everybody, Jeff Morrell here. Hope you guys are having a great day. We are recording this, by the way. This is November 12th of 2019 here in Colorado Springs, and excited to do this. We got Al Palmonari here. So Al has been doing real estate for about 19 years. I'm going to let him tell his story here in a minute. Was a managing broker, came over here actually from Equity Real Estate Group, or Equity Colorado, right?
Yes.
Whatever, came over here, built a big office over there with what, 215 agents, is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Heck yeah. So
215.
anyway, Al, it's great to have you over here at eXp. You saw the light and you came
Yes,
over.
sir, I did.
So
Great to be here.
anyway, yeah, it's great to have you. And I appreciate your time here. I know you're busy, with everything you got going on. So just can you share a little bit, tell us some of your story. 19 years of real estate. So you've been around the block a few times.
Yeah, a few. At first I started at multiple places. I ended up at Equity in 2013. A few years after that, I was offered a managing branch manager position. We grew that business to 215 agents. The problem I had with it, though, ultimately was it absolutely consumed me.
Okay.
And vacations were virtually gone. Everybody knew that I would be back at the room or on the phone or answering emails. Not that I didn't love my agents, I absolutely did and enjoyed that time. But I felt like I, I needed more as far as what I could do with my time, needed an exit plan as far as retirement, and I really wasn't building that. My old partner decided to purchase the branch from me, and it just worked out that I started to meet real good people at eXp. Actually, I was approached more than once. Tapped into a group that I feel like are just incredible people. Now that I know you, Jeff, I feel like the collaboration is coming together and people will understand what has been happening with eXp. Nearly 100 agents now. It's just going to make sense where eXp is more agent centric than a lot of the brokerages, the normal brokerages you see out there,
Hmm.
to where we have the retirement plan. A lot of the money comes to us rather than going to that brokerage, which to me, it just makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. When did you actually see eXp? How long ago?
February of this year,
Okay. Okay.
um, I was in a contract though, couldn't leave right away.
Okay.
But the light came on immediately. I mean, people say once you see it, you can't unsee it. That is real. I was so excited to get this started. So I waited my time on my contract and joined actually that day, the day that I was released from my 1 year contract.
Okay. Okay. And when was that? When did you join?
October 31st, 2019.
So just a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Sure. And when you saw it the first time, I mean, were there like what were some of the questions you had, or what were some of the concerns that you had, maybe? Because
Well,
again,
of
you're
course.
coming at it from a little bit different standpoint than a lot of the agents that come. I mean, you had, there's a lot you had to chew through and stuff.
Right. See, I came from that managing broker position.
Right.
And so you get to see overall how the whole business works, not just from an agent perspective. So you get some insights or you deal with different things on a daily basis that most agents probably don't know what, is really happening, which is great for them. But I wanted to see, I'm going to tell you what I was looking for, I guess, because it's what I tried to build in my old company and expected out of the new one. Um, Culture. Culture was huge for me
Right.
because I felt like a collaborative culture. If this is going to be a virtual business or a virtual model, I hear a lot of people saying, well, there's no way they can possibly have culture. Well, that could be more far from the truth because we have this collaboration between all the agents. No matter where they supposedly work, it's not just like many office spaces. It's like we're all working together collectively. So I thought that was awesome. Next thing I wanted was I had to have the technology piece. And I've interviewed a lot of places, and I found that the technology's been fragmented. Whereas you get some information here and some program there, but it doesn't all work together. It's not one portal of entry that you can grab this information and work. And that's so important that we have it.
Right.
And really, I wanted just a good, positive feel on the company. And I guess most importantly, that one last thing, that one component that I don't feel really anybody has is there's a retirement plan being built. for doing what I already do.
Right.
It's not like you're trying to sell something strange. You sell real estate. And with that, you just keep moving forward in your business and your retirement grows as well.
Sure, sure. What would you say, and that's obviously one of them, what would you, like for the individual agent who's out there looking, a lot of people are looking and they're hearing about eXp, maybe they haven't seen it yet, whatever, but they're hearing different things, whatever. Like, what are some of the biggest, benefits for just the individual agent that you see?
Yeah, and you know what? I've been
Because
already
you cared about your 215 agents, and I get, and which is awesome. I mean, as a broker owner, it's like, I know I had a team. I mean, I had a team, 5, 6 agents, and
right.
I would lose sleep at night if they didn't have deals going on. I mean, because I really genuinely just wanted them to, I had a single mom working with me. It's like, she has a couple of months without a closing. I mean, I'm seriously, like, I'm feeling that as a team
Right.
leader. I can't imagine as a broker, managing broker, you got 215 agents underneath you. Like, did you feel that sometimes? You feel kind of responsible for some of these people.
Absolutely felt responsible. And I think my agents knew if they called me, 9 times out of 10, if I'm available, they're going to get a hold of me. I'm going to be available to them. And I've already noticed that we have that in eXp. I've called Ray Sherman and he answers the phone. I'm like, this is what I've been looking for. He answers the phone. Exactly. And I know the guy's busy, but to have that kind of support, just to have that, I know a lot of the local agents don't have it because they're still calling me. Hey, my managing broker can't answer this question. Can I ask you? Sure. This is only my opinion as an agent. Yes, here's my opinion as an agent.
Sure.
And I try to help them. But what I looked for, as a single agent, I think that kind of response time for my broker, technology, again, the technology is not just for my daily business, but to educate. And I think that component is huge. I've heard that argument that we don't have education. We have the best of the best in the country.
I've never seen
it.
Class. Yeah. It's
just unbelievable.
It's the most amazing training I've ever seen in my life.
And what
years of real estate.
No doubt. And I've tapped into a group that Chad Madeline has actually said to me, I will give you everything that I have that I've done to bring my group, actually he has his own team, his team from $0 to over 100 million and closed. I mean, that is incredible. You're closing that kind of volume and you're offering that to me because we work together.
Yeah.
Because, there's plenty out there.
It's a paradigm shift, I think, in that, we're not, like, even all the realtors here in town, whatever, okay, so I was at Keller Williams for 5 years. I know this is years ago, but even all the different Keller Williams offices, I trained a few times. They had me do that, which I love doing.
Sure.
All this kind of stuff. But at the same time, there is that underlying thing in me where I'm training my competition.
Right.
I was all about playing team and all that kind of stuff, but I don't really see that happening so much, even with the individual franchise offices around here with the different companies, let alone in the same office, whatever. Whereas here, it's like, I really do see that, like everybody working together, helping each other, because the better we all do, the better the company does, the better our stock does, the better it's a win for everybody.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's a whole different, it's a shift, a paradigm shift, I think, with this thing, the way it's set up.
It's something that is unexpected. And I feel like a lot of people just can't believe that this is happening.
Right.
I get the questions, I've started to show this to some agents and they just, well, why would anybody share with me? Because as you do better, we do better collectively.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, a paradigm shift.
Yeah, yeah. And and the financial incentives of doing that as well. We all benefit there. We benefit with our retirements. We benefit with the revenue share model with this, which is huge. And again, it's like I don't know. Sometimes we get accused. We hear this sometimes. Oh, you guys are just a recruiting company.
Right.
It's like 5% of the agents are doing that. Whatever. Everybody's coming over because it's just a win for them and their business.
Absolutely, and that's what I've been talking about. Both sides of that. Of course, when I just talked to an agent, she said, well, I'm not a big producer. Okay, that's fine. We want to make sure that, again, this culture is supporting you. This business model is supporting you. Maybe you can do more if you want to. And if you're comfortable, that's great too. But there's 2 sides to this. There's not only the, I'm going to call it ongoing residual incomes that are created, But then there's regular real estate. We're a real estate company, and we have to remember that that's primary. There's no money made unless we sell real estate.
Right.
So when you're accused of that, I think that's kind of silly because, I mean, that's what we do.
For sure. What would you say to, and again, because, you know, I've shared this with a few broker owners, you know, whatever, you know, that I still, you know, I'm sending stuff to, whatever. I mean, and I get it. It's a, you know, it's a major shift for a broker owner to think through this. What would you say to like a broker owner? What are some of the advantages that you see for someone in that position? And there's some great broker owners here in town with some, you know, not only the franchises, but individual, you know, like independent companies, phenomenal people. I mean, you know,
we have an incredible,
really great businesses and great reputations and all that. Why should they look at this? Why should that person who's got he's an independent broker owner, not a franchise guy, but an independent broker, why should he really, truly dig into this and evaluate this and take his time and not just dismiss it? What are the advantages to a broker owner?
there's a lot to it, but I think the number one thing is getting your life back. Jeff, you were a top producer. You understand this.
Yeah.
You work. People don't understand the time behind the scenes that you've worked. Just like every other broker owner, they really don't know what's going on behind the scenes pretty much all the time. I would say they're going to get some of their time back. And to me, that was huge. Well, let's go less liability as well. Probably increased income in the end. Very hard to sell an individual's business. I've actually had a friend just rebrand because she knew she couldn't sell her brand.
Right.
So I think those are some of the talking points, but ultimately, if they dive into this business model, they're going to see how diverse their business can be. We don't deal with just the local economy anymore. We're dealing nationwide, actually international at that point. So instead of growing your business right here, you could literally have business and rely on business in other areas versus just this one small community. When you can diversify your income sources like that, to me, that's a win overall. But when a broker owner understands that, that's huge.
And then when you take off the liability,
the liabilities is
and you take
such
off
a huge thing.
If you take off you're not responsible for that agent in the UK, you know, whatever, right. but you override his split that he's giving to eXp. Like, I mean, there's so many things like that, you know, and to be able to build something big. I know all these guys they're building these big local businesses. I mean, you know, right. Some of them are approaching 80, 90, 100 agents, which is great, you know, but I can't imagine, number one, the overhead of that, you know, of building that, you know, the monthly cost of that, what the liabilities there, you know, you get deeper and deeper into it. And, you know, kind of like you said, being on vacation, like, I remember that. I remember we took our kids to Disney World. They were 10 and 8. And we were down there for about 10 days. And I just remember, you know, we had a great time. The kids had a ball, great vacation. But I remember 3 days sending my wife to the park with the kids. I'll call you when I get there, you know, because I'm in the hotel room, you know, on my laptop, trying to keep deals together, dealing with inspections, you know, standing in line, you know, my kids, Dad, you were like next to get on the ride. You know, I'm like, you know, hold on, let him go past you. I got to finish this call, you know. Like, it's just, my kids are looking at me like, what's wrong with you? You know, whatever. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like, you know, I'm not on vacation. I moved my office to Orlando. You know, it's just, and it was just so crazy sometimes. And I think as broker owners, we can get so deep in that we want to be able to eventually pull away. You have a business that will run without you, but I'm not sure you ever really get to that point, you know, deep down.
And on that same note, I mean, if you look at the agent that aspires to be a broker, they actually have the same opportunity. You know, not just being the broker owner. I mean, the broker owner has that mindset, but the individual agent that wants to aspire for more of that, they can tap into that income source and essentially have the same thing as the broker owner.
Yeah. And
I don't think a lot of people understand how that truly works.
Right. For sure. For sure. Now, there's big things going on. Yeah. What do you think? Let me just ask you this, and then we'll kind of wrap things up here. Like, what's your goal? Like 3 years from now, where do you see yourself?
You know, Sure. In 3 years, I'm probably going to do even more real estate just because of the resources that I have, which I truly do love and enjoy doing, selling real estate,
Sure.
buy, sell, love it. Investments, it's, to me, I don't know how to explain it. It's fun. You know, some people go, I'll never show another buyer again. I absolutely will. I love that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
In 3 years, like I said, additional income through selling real estate, building a portfolio because of the residuals that are coming in, just general growth, trying to share this opportunity to more and more agents around the world. Just because I feel like this is something that hasn't been introduced before. There's other models that can give you some additional money, but I don't feel like they give you a true retirement. If someone hasn't seen this, they really do need to see it, because it's a game changer. It's a game changer for the real estate market as far as the agents are concerned, as well as right down to the individual. They can really change their life.
For sure. And I think with the broker owners, just to touch on that one more time, I think, the thing that I see too is that I think the broker owners that, because you'll meet with them, I've met with a couple, and they really they generally care about their agents,
They do.
which is great. And I think if you really evaluate this and really dig into it and take the time and crunch the numbers and dig in deep, not only is it a win for you as the broker owner coming into this model, it's a win for all the agents. And which is why we're seeing broker owners, when they really get that, bringing their entire brokerages over here. And we're hearing the stories. It just came out like last week. There was a guy there 2 weeks ago, Dave Kurz, which I don't know Dave. I just saw an interview with him online. He 175 agents in Miami, Florida, independent brokerage, and brought his whole company over here. Willie Miranda, a friend of mine back in Albany, New York, 81 agents, huge product, number one independent brokerage in Albany. They've done over 900 deals this year. I was reading about it. I mean, as 81 agents, as a team, as a company, it took him a year to dig into this. And I get it. It's a lot to dig into and think through. But he finally said, you know what, this is the move. And now he's over here, made the move over, him and his whole brokerage. And when they really get it, it's a win for Willie. No liability anymore. That goes away.
Right.
Whatever, the peace of mind of that, whatever. But the overhead will slowly go down. He wants to slowly phase out his office over a couple, 2-3 years because of this model as well. That's his biggest expense, is that in marketing, whatever. He's going to be able to pull back on all that, but it's a win then for his agents. All of a sudden now they're incentivized to do more deals with the stocks. They're getting more training than he could ever provide them. They're all getting more leads because of KB Core that he could never give every one of them an individual KB Core platform. 81 agents, that cost a fortune, outside of this. And now they all have that. So there's such a win, when it comes right down to it for that. So anyway, but no, big things are going on. The last thing I would share real quick is I think, because 3 years from now, 5 years from now, I think you, me, both, all of us in this thing, we at least have some options. We've actually sold more homes, my wife and I, this year than we have in the last couple of years. I mean, we picked up our business, which has been great. But the nice thing here, I think for most agents, when you really look at this, there's only one way to make more money in real estate, and that's sell more houses.
Right.
And which basically means more of everything. It's more weekends away. It's more open houses. It's more money for marketing. It's more signs. It's more lock boxes. It's more inspections. It's more wear and tear on the car. It's more of everything. I mean, that's just how it is. Whatever. Whereas with this here, because there's 3 streams of income in this company, 3 to 5 years from now, you could either sell more houses, or you have options.
Right.
You maybe pull back because you've got money coming in from these other sources. So now you can actually start, whatever, maybe other goals that you have, or other things you want to fund, or other dreams, other passions, whatever. It just opens up doors for more things.
For sure.
One of the things that I see here. So anyway, anything else you want to wrap up with? Any other last minute comments?
I just want to let you know I appreciate what you have done, and I feel like you have set the stage for us that are just coming on. Definitely being a positive influencer in the area. Glad to work along with you.
Sure.
And I'm sure we're going to do bigger and better things as we move along and share this with more agents. So
sure.
It's almost like freedom to me. it
Yeah.
seems like freedom in the end.
Well, we're having a good time. That's the one thing,
It's I gotta say, I'm having fun.
Yeah, I mean, and eXp picked up on that. Whatever one of their slogans, making real estate fun again.
Yeah, I get it.
And that's what it is. I mean, there's a Pauline, an agent, Pauline King joined us here about a month ago or so. And, she's been in real estate since 1980. She's definitely, looking to start winding things down a little bit. She's getting a little older, but she's like, come to our lunches and stuff. And she's like, I got to be honest, like, I'm having a great time here. Like, and I haven't felt that in a long time, whatever.
That's awesome.
So we're definitely getting that piece of it. But yeah, we're approaching 100 agents here in town. I think we're going to probably double that in the next 6 months or so. I think that's definitely going to happen.
I think so.
It's just the beginning stages here, so in Colorado Springs, but big things going on. So it's great to have you on board. Seriously, I do look forward to working with you and all of us together. I think just taking this to whole new places, and I love sharing it with the agents because it's such a win when they really see it and get it. So don't be afraid to look. It doesn't hurt to look. It's worth a 30-minute coffee, I promise you. Whatever. If you maybe you might look at this and be like, no, it's just not for me. Totally good. At least you understand the model and how it works. But you don't know what you don't know, and that's what I've always been open to looking at things. I've said no to dozens of things. I mean, it wasn't a fit for me. Whatever, and that's good. But you don't know what you don't know. I would say at least get with Al, get with whoever calls you, and just go meet him. Come to our lunch. Come grab a coffee. Get online, watch a video, whatever. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But it might be something where even a year from now or 2 years from now, something could happen in your company or the economy or whatever. And all of a sudden, maybe you're open to taking a second look at it. And I would tell you, don't be afraid to do that. So, Al, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Have a great week. I'll see you at the lunch probably tomorrow. There you go. So, guys, thank you very much. We'll be doing this again. Have a great day. Have a great week. Bye-bye.